On September 10, 2025, a shot was heard around the world. Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and that gunshot has been heard literally all over the world. It is such a tragic event, and yet I'm reminded of the words of Jesus in John 12:24. He said, "Most assuredly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it abides alone, but if it dies, it produces much grain." And there is something about the death of Charlie Kirk that is producing incredible fruit, a multiplication of the fruit of his life. And one of the ways that's happened is with me personally. I've been a little bit binging recently on some of his online YouTube content, and I am inspired by his example. So I want to share with you 8 ways that I am inspired by Charlie Kirk's example. Number 1. He was a deep, strong thinker. This reminds me of Peter's exhortation in 1 Peter 1 verse 13, where Peter goes, "Gird up the loins of your mind." And what Peter is basically saying there is, think. It's a biblical exhortation to gather up anything that would hinder us from running with our mind, get it into our belt, tighten it up so that we can run with our mind and think clearly. And so I'm inspired by Charlie's example to be a strong thinker. Number 2, he was very talented, and yet he did not just coast on the merit of his strong gifts and talents. He worked them real hard. So he studied and he worked his talents. I'm reminded of Matthew 25, where Jesus talked about someone that turned 2 talents into 4, 5 talents into 10. And that was Charlie Kirk. He took his giftings and multiplied them for effectiveness, and this inspires me. Number 3, Charlie Kirk was knowledgeable on a wide diversity of topics. And his example in this regard really inspires me to broaden the topics in which I have understanding. Number 4, he was strong in his masculinity, and yet he was kind to women, and that inspires me. Number 5, Charlie was skillful at taking complex issues and distilling them into simple language. I heard him talk once about revenge politics versus empowerment politics. And when you understand the context of the conversation, it just comes clearer. It's like, okay, now I can understand with a couple simple terms what's going on here. And he was able to take some fairly complex philosophical issues and distill them into language that regular people like you and me can understand. And that gifting, that his way of doing that inspires me. Number 6, I'm inspired by his courage. He would step into contexts almost like stepping into a hornet's nest where everybody seemed to be against him, and yet his courage to step boldly into those kind of contexts, and yet he handled everybody with dignity, and that inspires me. Number 7, he was a man of principle. He never compromised his convictions and his beliefs in order to gain favor with people, and that inspires me. Number 8, he never shied away from sharing his faith. He was always respectful to people that didn't share his faith, but he never shied away. He didn't impose his faith on others, but when they initiated and opened the door, he was like, yeah, let's go there, let's talk about it. And so his boldness to share his faith, inspiring to me. So a couple suggestions that I want to make on the legacy, based on the legacy of his life. Here's my first suggestion. Identify a quality in Charlie Kirk's life that inspires you. Identify it clearly so that you could actually write it down and then consider, how can I grow in this quality? And if you will grow in that quality because you're inspired by his example, then the fruitfulness of his life will be multiplied through you. Number 2, look up his recommended reading list. I did this on ChatGPT. You can do it on various AI platforms and just punch it in. What were the books that Charlie Kirk recommended for reading? And they'll scroll on your screen for you, and then go to a public library and check one of them out and read some of his recommended the books that he recommended for reading. So again, John 12:24. Most assuredly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain. May you be inspired by the good, virtuous, godly qualities that Charlie Kirk exemplified, and may they be reproduced in your life so that the fruitfulness of his life will continue. God bless you.